Good afternoon, my dear students. I welcome you all to this online English class of One Science College. In the previous class, I had explained the summary of the story My Greatest Olympic Prize by Jesse Owens. I had also introduced the author and the important characters on which the story revolves. I also explained what is Olympic game about and its background. Today I will be explaining line by line meaning of the first unity of the text. I have already shared the word meaning of the first unity, which will help you to understand the text very easily. Before to start the first unity, again I want to tell about the important characters of the story. The first one is Jesse Owens, the author himself, an American track athlete. The second one is Lars Long, a tall German long jumper. The opponent to Jesse Owens, to whom Hitler had kept him in secret. And the last one is Adolf Hitler, the then ruler of Germany. The story revolves on these three important characters. If you give a glance on the title of the story, that is My Greatest Olympic Prize, we want to know why the author says greatest prize. Why not only a mere prize? It means the author what he won from this competition, from this game, was not a small prize, but it was the greatest one in his life. So then what was that prize? According to him, according to Jesse Owens, the author, the medal what he had received from these Olympic Games was not only a greatest prize for him, but to build a strong bond of friendship with Lars Long was the greatest prize for him, which is the cream of this story. Now, I am explaining the line by line meaning from the text, from the Unity 1. Please, you open your book, page number 50. The story starts like this. It was the summer of 1936. The Olympic Games were being held in Berlin because Adolf Hitler childishly insisted that his performers were members of a master race. Nationalistic feelings were at an all-time high. Here, the author says that it was the time of 1936 Olympic Games and the Olympic Games were being organized in Berlin, Germany, and at that time Adolf Hitler was the ruler. He was ruling over Germany at that time. And he childishly insisted, that means he very whimsically insisted means forced or supported that his performers means his competitors, the competitors of Germany were the member of a master race. So according to Hitler, The Germans means the Aryans were the superior race to all over race in the world. He called them, that's why he called the Germans a master race. And also he thought that his competitors were the best competitors in the world, and they would only snatch away all the prizes in this Olympic game. It was believed by Adolf Hitler, and according to Jesse Owens, it was a childish thinking of Adolf Hitler, because here Jesse Owens represents his attitude towards Adolf Hitler. That's why he told him that Adolf Hitler childishly declared. Childishly means giving a view like a child. So here the attitude of Jesse Owens towards Adolf Hitler was not so good. And also Jesse Owens was not satisfied such type of declaration. And why it is called master? He himself declared that the Germans, that means the Aryans, were the master race, means the greatest race in the world. And nationalistic feelings were at an all-time high. What is nationalistic feelings? Nationalistic feelings means feelings for own nation. That means to someone feel that his people, the people of his nations, they are great, and the other people of the world, they are not great, or they are inferior, and only the Germans were the superior. It was the belief of Adolf Hitler at that time, and it was called the master race, right? Then the writer says, I was not too worried about all this. I have trained, sweated and disciplined myself for 6 years with the games in mind. I was not too worried about all this. That means Jesse Owens was not worried about such declaration, such type of announcement made by Adolf Hitler that the Germans were the master race, because he was not bothered about such type of declaration, because he had trained a lot, means he had practiced, he had taken a long training, sweated means labor hard, disciplined means showing a controlled form of performance since 6 years, and he had a aim, Jesse Owens had a aim, how he will achieve some prizes in the Olympic game. It was his dream. For that reason, he had trained, sweated and disciplined for 6 years. That's why Jesse Owens was not worried. Jesse Owens was not bothered about such type of declaration made by Adolf Hitler. Then, while I was going over on the boat, here Jesse Owens was saying, when he was going over the boat to attain the Olympic prize at Berlin, all I could think about was taking home 1 or 2 of those medals. And he had a dream that anyhow he would win 2 or 3 medals. It was his belief. It was the belief of Jesse Owens. And he was thinking about it when he was going over on the boat to attend the Olympic game at Berlin. I had my eyes especially on the long jump. A year before, as a university student, I had set the world record of 26 feet 8.14 inches. See. Again, Jesse Owens says, I had my eyes especially on the long jump because he was a long jumper. He had set world record. That's why he told that he had set his eyes specially on the long jump. A year before, as a university student, that means while Jesse Owens was studying in a university, at that time he had set a world record by jumping 26 feet 8.14 inch, which was a world record at that time. Everyone kind of expected me to win that Olympic events hands down. That's why everyone believed that Jesse Owens would fetch some prizes very easily, because before that he had trained a lot, he had world records, and he had also set 26 feet 8.14 inch world record. That's why it was easy for him. That's why people believed that it is easy for him to achieve a world record. Then I was in for a surprise. Here again Jesse Owens says, I was in for a surprise when the time came for the long jump trials. I was in for surprise. That means when the trial match started, at that time Jesse Owens became surprised because he saw a long jumper. I was startled. Startled means surprised. To see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice slip. Practice slip means practice jump. He turned out to be a German named Lars Lang. Turned out means to present at an event, and that the name of that tall German long jumper was Lars Lang. So when he saw Lars Lang on the ground, suddenly he became surprised. Jesse Owens became surprised. And in the very first trial match and in the very first practice jump, he had jumped 26 feet at once. So Jesse Owens became surprised because he had set a world record of 26 feet 8.14 inch, and here Lars Lang, the German athlete, also he had jumped 26 feet. So that means Jesse Owens was not, that means he was not far behind from Jesse Owens. Lars Lang was not far behind than Jesse Owens, because he was only 8.14 inch more record than Lars Lang. That's why he became startled, he became surprised. I was told that Hitler had kept him. I was told that means here it was told in, it is written in a passive voice. I was told that Hitler had kept him under wraps, evidently hoping he would win the jump. That means here people told to Jesse Owens that Hitler had kept him hidden. Hitler had kept him under wraps, evidently hoping he would win the jump. That evidently means definitely. To keep him secret, he believed that Hitler had kept him secret in order to win the long jump. It was the notion of Adolf Hitler. That's why he had kept him secret. People told all this to Jesse Owens. Then I supposed that if long on, it would add some more new support to the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. I have already told you what is Aryan superiority theory. So then Jesse Owens thought that if Lars Lang would win some medals, then it will add more glory to the Aryan superiority theory, and the nationalistic feelings of Adolf Hitler became more high. That's why Jesse Owens thought that anyhow I will defeat Lars Lang in this competition. So after all, he also believed that, Jesse Owens believed that he was a Negro, a little hot under the collar about Hitler's way. A little hot under the collar about Hitler's way means Jesse Owens was a little bit angry like Hitler. Jesse Owens was a little bit angry like Hitler. That's why he says here he says he was a little hot under the collar about Hitler's way. I determined to go out there and really show Die Führer and his master race who was superior and who was not. That's why he decided that he took a strong decision that I will show my talent in this competition. Anyhow, I will defeat Lars Lang and I will show Adolf Hitler actually who is the senior and who is the superior and who is the inferior in this competition. That's why Adolf, as Jesse Owens, became a little bit angry, and he jumped to the ground for competition. This was all about the line by line meaning of the past unity. So please listen this video carefully. If you have any doubt, then ask me. And I have also told you some important things in this unity. So listen it carefully, and if you have any doubt, then ask me. Thank you.